Hello and welcome once again to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog where, as the title suggests, I play with a straight bat. Now, a few days ago, I interviewed Fawad Chaudhry, Pakistan's rather tough-talking Minister for Science and Technology in the Imran Khan government. Now, Chaudhry had just made a rather controversial remark in the Pakistani parliament, claiming that Pakistan had hit India on its home turf, ghar mein ghus kar mara, and then claimed that Pulwama's success was one of the achievements of the Imran Khan government. Not surprisingly, these remarks have attracted immediate attention in India. Here is a senior Pakistani minister taking credit for Pulwama. I mean, it seemed the first open admission by the Pakistani government of its alleged role in the terror attack of the 14th of February 2019, in which India lost more than 40 CRPF soldiers. It appeared prima facie that Mr. Chaudhry had crossed the line. He needed to be questioned. The Pakistani government needed to be put on the mat for its minister making this kind of a statement. My assignment team told me that Chaudhry was not taking any calls. At around 6:30 p.m., I was heading to the office for my daily 9 p.m. show, and I thought I would take a chance by trying to call Chaudhry and see if he would come on my show. I had met Chaudhry once earlier. In fact, in November of 2018, when I had gone to Pakistan for the Kartarpur corridor inauguration. And Mr. Chaudhry was then the information minister of Pakistan, and he even organized a dinner at the Lahore fort for the media delegation. The dinner didn't go too well because typically the Indians and Pakistanis got into a bit of a tu-tu meh-meh over Kashmir. I nevertheless stayed in touch with Mr. Chaudhry. So I rang him up on Thursday evening. And as it turned out, he picked up the phone and I requested him that, look, would you be ready to come and speak on my 9 o'clock show, because I want to ask you a few questions about what you've said in Parliament. Mr. Chaudhry said, look, I believe Indian media has misrepresented my statement. I will happily come on your show. I want to clear the air. I said, okay. As it turned out, an hour later, I was recording an interview with Mr. Chaudhry, who now claimed that his speech had been edited and selectively used. He said, and I quote him, "You are only taking that part of my speech where I speak about Pulwama without seeing what I have said 30 seconds later, where I am clearly referring to events after Pulwama, when our Air Force entered the skies and there was a skirmish in which we brought down 2 of your planes and captured your pilot Abhinandan." I listened, as any anchor must, I believe, when someone wants to make a point, but soon joined issue, because it was clear to me that Mr. Chaudhry was being, some would say, too clever by half, and the tone and tenor of his arguments smacked, to me at least, of pure bravado. We went then into the familiar argument where I kept asking him about Pakistan sponsoring and sheltering the likes of Masood Azhar, Hafiz Saeed and Dawood Ibrahim. Mr. Chaudhry typically continued to live in denial, not answering the issue once of just why Pakistan continues, or the Pakistani state continues, to sponsor and support terrorists operating their terror against India. Interview over, I thought I would go and check the recording of what had actually been said in Pakistan Parliament and get the entire statement, since Chaudhry was claiming he had been misrepresented. It appeared, once I got the tape, that Mr. Chaudhry had indeed referred to the post-Pulwama skirmish in the skies. And yet the manner in which he had gone on saying ki Pulwama hamari badi kamyabi hai, it was clear to me that the language betrayed an attempt to try and make the Imran Khan government better than it was at a time when it is encircled by the opposition in Pakistan. This was, to my mind, clearly a minister who was not in control of his sharp rhetoric and had only put his foot in the mouth, and now embarrassed himself and his party and was wriggling out of the situation. To be fair, Mr. Chaudhary was not wrong when he said that his views had been selectively used. But he was wrong in the manner in which he continuously was denying Pakistan's state link to jihadi groups like the Jaish, and the manner in which he had used Pulwama so casually, given the strong sentiments that the issue attracts in India. But this blog isn't quite about the Pakistani minister who's caught on the back foot. It's about how we in India, my friends, react to Pakistanis speaking on Indian TV. When I reached home, I found immediately I was being trolled on Twitter, not for the first time, where according to the internet Bhakt Army, I had given a platform to a Pakistan minister to speak his mind. The editor of the RSS journal, the organizer, went to the extent of saying that Rajdeep and India Today have crossed the line. I was a little mystified, but not entirely surprised. We had crossed the line? Or had that Pakistan minister crossed the line and therefore deserved to be questioned? Surely asking questions to a Pakistani minister who's in the news, is the newsmaker, is the duty of journalists, is it not? At the core of this is what I believe is the role and self-image of journalists in the times in which we live. The fact is, my friends, journalists are not soldiers on the LOC or in Siachen. We don't carry guns. We carry our mics or our pens. Our dharma is to find the truth at all costs. Truth knows no borders, and it begins by asking the questions, the right questions. I am a patriotic journalist, but I need no certificates for patriotism from anyone. I am not a nationalist or a propagandist. The difference is important. A patriotic journalist may not wear the tricolor on his suit in a studio, but he wears the flag of truth, however inconvenient that truth may be. The truth is that Chaudhary's remarks may have been possibly misrepresented. If so, we needed to find out. The truth is that the Pakistani state has patronized terror. The likes of Mr. Chaudhary living in denial therefore need to be exposed. That's what I was attempting to do as a journalist, and that's what I would like to believe is my dharma. You can watch the interview on the link that I have provided with the blog to make up your mind. I want to make one final point. Almost every day on some news channel or the other, you will find sundry Pakistani voices, mainly ex-military types, appearing to represent the so-called Pakistani view. They are mostly subject to a barrage of abuse by Indian anchors, and I have often wondered, why do these people persist on coming on channels when it is clear that they are on a hiding to nothing. Then I was told one day by a guest coordinator that the Pakistani guests are actually paid $150, $200, sometimes even more, to appear on Indian TV. Some have even opened accounts in Dubai to ensure the smooth transfer of the money. Now today I want to ask you, who is the anti-national here? Channels which pay Pakistani guests to create mock fights in their studio so that their TRPs can increase? Or those who simply ask tough questions to the Pakistani ministers who are the real newsmakers so that we can actually get to the truth of the matter? I want you to think about this today. And while you do, let me adapt a quote from the great cricket historian CLR James, who once said, "What do they know of cricket who only cricket know?" Today I will say, what do they really know of journalism who only journalism know? Thanks for watching. This was The Straight Bat.